Alright, so we had Muslim women, and first we're going to talk about the history of the Taliban. And knowing about the Taliban is very important because they had a huge impact on Muslim women. So the Taliban was officially created in 1996, but it all started back in 1979 when the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan. And during this time, the US and Soviet Union were at a Cold War, so the US didn't like that the Soviets were trying to take control of the Middle East. And because of that, the US decided to intervene and send troops called the Mujahideen to fight against the Soviets in Afghanistan. While the US was over there, they partnered with Pakistan, and the Mujahideen were recruited in support of the Pakistani military extreme views of Islam. And since they were partners, the US provided $3 billion of ammunition to build the Islamic group, which are still being used today. So who exactly is the Taliban? The Taliban literally translates to students studying the Islam religion, which is what the Taliban used to be, just a bunch of students. But today they involve more people of higher power. The Taliban evolved from the Mujahideen, which was a group of troops that the US sent over to Afghanistan to fight against the Soviets in the 1980s. Today the Taliban mostly consist of people from the Mujahideen and those from Pakistan, and most of them are known as the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, which is just an Islamic extremist group. And then so the Taliban and its effect on women. So the Taliban believed that women needed to be covered completely whenever in public, and if any skin was showing, they would be beaten. They also needed to be escorted by a man in public, and if they knew no male, they would be confined to their homes. They also believed that education and employment were not necessary, and they also could not have health care, which also means no reproductive health care. Many women were also forced into prostitution if they were poor because they could not afford a burqa, which is just another word for a veil. And the windows of the homes were forced to be painted so others could not view them from the outside. And if any women were caught laughing, talking loudly, or making any loud noise in public, they would also be beaten.